Hi, I'm Darko. I've lost around 200 pounds of body weight. I've worked with hundreds of people trying to achieve similar results. And I'm here to tell you something that's probably going to piss you off, but certainly going to save you years of frustration. So, if you're exhausted from tracking every goddamn bite you eat and weighing every single morsel of food, then putting that food onto some tracking app, if you are just exhausted from following diet plans that are extremely rigid and restrictive and not really made specifically for you and your specific needs, then I gotta show you something else. I gotta show you a better way in achieving permanent results without following anything rigid, anything restrictive, certainly not anything like hardcore extreme like vegan diet or carnivore diet. And I want to show you a way where you will not ever need to open a single tracking app. So now you're probably thinking like, holy shit, yet another dude from fitness industry trying to sell effortless weight loss and just easy, sustainable progress. And I get that. I 100% understand that because that was also my own skepticism while I weighed approximately 200 pounds heavier than what I weigh right now. I've tried every diet under the sun. I've tried extreme diets, as I mentioned earlier, such as like carnivore. I tried vegetarian diets. I tried absolutely everything. And a lot of these things worked, but they worked only temporarily, not permanently. However, then I kind of tried to reverse engineer my own journey with everything that I've learned working with hundreds of people so far. Plus, I derived a lot of kind of conclusions working as a copywriter in marketing industry, especially in the fitness industry. And I figured it out. I figured out why most people fail at getting permanent results. And this is what I want to show you. So here's the truth. You're really not failing because of willpower or lack of willpower. You're certainly not failing because of discipline, even though that's something that fitness people want to tell you, because those two words, discipline and willpower, are usually the scapegoat for coaches and fitness enthusiasts and influencers who really don't understand the intricacies and the nuance of struggle, especially not the mental struggle and the psychology of consistent weight loss. You're essentially failing because you are trying to force down your life into systems that aren't really made for you. You're trying to follow meal plans that aren't really, written for you, or you're trying to kind of like force certain coaching systems that don't really correspond with your own personality. So you can't really be consistent with something that's not made for you, or it doesn't make any sense in the context of your lifestyle, especially not in the context of your schedule. So just think about it. Measuring every single morsel of food that you eat does not really create freedom. It creates eating disorder with a tracking app labeled on it. And then following someone else's meal plan with where half of the foods you don't even like, maybe a lot of these recipes you just absolutely hate, that's not transformative. That's fucking torture, if you ask me. What actually works is what I developed and what I like to call the 3-phase freedom system. So in the first phase, which can last anywhere between 2 to 4 weeks, sometimes a bit longer depending on your specific struggles. In this first phase, we are just trying to fix your body systems, meaning optimize your energy levels, reduce hunger, eliminate cravings, and then we move on to the second phase. In the second phase, we focus a bit more or fully focus on weight loss, sustainable weight loss. Whereas in the third phase, we are just trying to adopt everything that we learned within these first two phases and try to make it permanent, try to make it stick as much as possible. And the last phase can last anywhere between, a couple of weeks to a couple of months, really depending on how difficult or how simple your situation is. The reason why we want to make sure that we have enough time together to just cement everything that we learned from the first two phases is simply because, permanent change takes time. And developing these habits and developing these systems into something that feels natural, doesn't feel like something that you have to follow, it unfortunately just requires a bit more time. But the goal of the third phase and the goal of the entire coaching system that I provide is to give you self-sufficiency so that you don't need me or any other coach ever again. This is what I like to call like almost done for you service. Obviously, you have to do the hard work. I can't do the hard work for you, unfortunately, but I can do a lot of mental work for you. So all the tracking, all the calculations, even weighing to a large extent, weighing the food, I mean, to the large extent, is something that I do for you. You don't have to calculate anything. You don't have to worry about anything. You're just going to have a 100% clarity on what to eat, how to eat it, and how to adopt your eating patterns and your eating habits around ever-changing life circumstances. So here's essentially what you get. First and foremost, you're going to get a very detailed, very comprehensive nutritional plan. These are not meal plans. So I'm not ever going to tell you what to eat on a Friday morning for breakfast, on Monday evening for dinner, or anything like that. So we do something that's going to be based around your taste preferences, the recipes that you know how to make, the foods that are available in your local area, the ingredients that you have available in your household, or just supermarkets or grocery stores around you. And there's no calculations. You don't have to obsessively weigh anything. And I do a lot of that, so like decision making for you as much as I can. Obviously, the coaching system is not all about following a certain plan. It's about us communicating pretty much on a daily basis. So I'm here for you, not just to brainstorm. I'm here for you to guide you every step along the way. And also, whenever you are struggling, you can just let me know, and we're going to jump on a quick call. We're going to discuss everything. I don't do any sort of like automated check-ins or anything like that. I have a pretty old school approach to coaching. So once a week, once every other week, depending on your schedule, we jump on a call, we discuss how everything's been, we kind of cover everything in sort of a summary, and then we develop a very straightforward, action-oriented, kind of like step-by-step plan for the following week, for the following couple of weeks. So not only do you get clear instructions on what to do every single day, you're also going to have my support every time you decide to go to eat out or take food, in, meaning ordering food in. So whenever you want to, just have fun with food, let me know. Text me the menu of the restaurant, of the fast food joint, of a pub or anything like that you are planning to visit, and I'm going to check their menu, and or you can just send me a link, by the way. It doesn't have to be like a text screenshot or anything like that. I go through the menu, then I pick 3, 4, 5 best options that are going to be congruent with our nutritional plan, that are going to be congruent with your goals. And then you essentially just pick the one that seems tastiest to you. So you go with what you actually like. And I kind of try my best to control the intake. When you plan to travel, I'll help you develop a plan that's not going to be restrictive. That plan will probably insinuate that we have to maintain your current results just so you can have more fun and more freedom while you're on a vacation. If you're stuck at the airport and your flight gets canceled, you get back to me and I'll help you pick the best choices at that particular airport, depending on the grocery stores and the Starbucks, the Burger Kings, the McDonald's, anything that they have available. Then I'm going to be there for you to help you out along the way. So you're never going to feel stuck. Whenever life gets stressful, I'm going to be there to modify the entire plan for you. And that way, when we alleviate stress, we can go back to fat loss cycles. And whenever your life gets complicated, then we try to do our best to maintain the results that we achieved so far without any added pressure. So it's really important now, just to reiterate, that the first phase can last anywhere between like 2 to 4 weeks, sometimes even 6 weeks. And during this first phase, I truly don't care. Don't get me wrong, but I don't care if you don't lose any weight, because that's not our objective. Our primary objective is to fix your energy levels, is to fix your hunger levels, is to eliminate your cravings, so that your body is essentially prepared for more, let's say, more difficult task, which is going to be sustainable weight loss. So once your body is prepared, you're going to also start feeling a little bit more like zest and enthusiasm to actually get into a dieting cycle, rather than just forcing you to do that from day one. And that leads us to phase 2. In phase 2, you can expect consistent weight loss. It can be a 1 pound, 2 pounds, 3 pounds, depending really on your current weight. But your body will then cooperate because we established the foundation in the first phase, and things just gets kind of like smoother and easier. I'm not going to tell you that this is going to be absolutely effortless. I promise you that's not what I'm guaranteeing here. But if you are prepared, if you don't have a lot of cravings, if your hunger levels feel more natural to you, then obviously the entire weight loss cycle is going to be that much easier. And like I said earlier, in phase 3, we're just trying to learn or take everything that we learned in the first 2 phases and just make it permanent. And we do this through a lot of experimentation. I'm going to challenge you to get yourself into a situation where you're going to have to pick new foods, where you're going to go into grocery store and try to figure out your own recipes. Whenever you're going on a vacation, I'm going to challenge you to try local foods and stuff like that, just so we can see where you are when it comes to controlling your intake more intuitively. So obviously on this page, you're going to, if you scroll down, you're going to read more information on pricing as well, but I'm going to also tell you that. So the monthly price is $337 American per month. And if you commit yourself to 3 months, which for me makes sense because usually it takes like 3 months to go through all of these 3 phases, then in that case, you're going to get a significant discount. However, if you decide to work with me only for a month, I'm going to do my best to condense all 3 phases within 1 month so that you feel more capable and more confident in continuing on your own. By the way, I don't do any contracts. I don't do any automatic withdrawal of money from your bank account or anything like that. So there are no payment commitments at all. So if you feel ready and if you like what I'm saying here and if you want to work with someone who truly understands what a consistent weight loss struggle feels like, if you want someone next to you who understands, how it feels like canceling a date because, a pair of jeans that you could squeeze into 2 weeks ago do not fit you right now. If you want someone who understands that feeling shameful about eating when people are around, not avoiding restaurants, not going to events and parties and whatnot, just because you don't want people seeing you eat food, just because it just feels kind of embarrassing. If you want someone who is really not one of these like fitness influencers who was always jacked and in a great healthy condition, who really understands what going from a very extreme point of around 400 pounds and then losing pretty much like half of my body weight and consistently maintaining that since 2013, then I would absolutely love to help you. Just go scroll down the page, read more information if you need to. If not, just click on the buy button and let's talk about your specific situation. Thank you so much for your time. Once again, I'm Darko and I'm here to help you, and I would be thrilled if we could work together. Cheers. Bye.